My name is Mary Cottrell Jung, and this is part two of my Challenge by Design project, which I have entitled The Budgeting Crisis. The challenge is for the students to understand the importance of creating a budget and how to make important financial decisions for the rest of their lives. The history behind this project is the fact that a lot of our students get out in the real world and don't know how to handle credit card debt. They don't know how to handle credit cards themselves. They don't know how to handle a budget. They don't know, how to save for their future, those types of things. And a lot of that we can attribute to the fact that they aren't taught this by their parents, especially those students who are in that cycle of poverty and have never learned how to budget their money to get out of that cycle. So basically, the idea is to help create students who are informed and can make informed decisions about their finances. Um, in order to start off this challenge, of course, this should be something that should come up naturally in conversation with the students. It should be something that they want to talk about and want to deal with. But the essential question should come from the students and should be discussed by the students. But it should be something similar to how can we change our financial situation and make good money decisions in the future. And the idea, once again, is to make sure that their lives are being bettered by this program or by this challenge. Um, the action plan for this specific project is to make sure that I follow the Challenge by Design steps, which are form student groups, complete their research, and then go through the budget training and present the solutions that they've found. The options for the action plan are in part one, I talked about how the students will be using a budgeting program. They're going to be using Padlets. They're going to be doing discussions on Google Docs. They're going to be using lots of technological resources. But also, they need to do their research. They need to find books, websites, articles that talk about budgeting and the reasoning behind it, how important it is, and some ways to effectively and simply do it for students. They need to collect surveys on how many students have thought about their financial future. They need to do surveys among staff and parents and the community if they possibly can to figure out who usually does a budget, how they feel, maybe some thoughts and feelings that are connected to that. And then they could even get video interviews from experts, from financial planners, from even their parents or the teachers, and ask them about their budgeting skills or situations that they felt have been either bettered or by their budgeting skills or worsened, of course, and then go through the training of that specific program that I mentioned in part one, where they actually go through scenarios and they, based on their research, actually decide what to do in that budget, and they use their ratios and percents and adding and subtracting decimals and multiplying and dividing decimals, knowledge from math to actually solve all of these issues. And so that's something that they'll need to continually do throughout the process. But then the hope by the end is to create more financial awareness for those students. And so the hope is that the students that go through this program not only find solutions for themselves, but are ready to present those solutions and their findings with other people by maybe doing presentations for their classmates, possibly even doing presentations for the school or for the community at large, maybe even having a night where parents can come and hear what the research that the students have done, and even maybe getting budgeting advice from those students. Um, so I think this project is incredibly important. I think it's something that, you know, going through the implementation, we need to make sure that we're very considerate about what actually happens during this action plan and make sure that it's very deliberate by the students and very deliberate by the teachers.